Hi, Cancer. I know. I know. I'm a Cancer rising. I feel it. I couldn't have done the reading yesterday if I wanted to. You have to get up off the floor to do a reading. I don't know. I can't tell. I don't know. It's like the ocean. We're in the ocean. We won't drown because we are the ocean, but like, what is going on? Let's do really intuitive. Let's get some guidance. See, where do we start? Like, why does it have to feel like this? And why isn't anyone able to help? It feels like being at the doctor's office, but you don't know why you're there. Which makes you feel crazy. And of course it makes you look crazy, because like, why are you here? It makes you reach out for reassurance to people who like can't reassure you. They don't even know where to start. They're just like, I can't help you. Makes you then feel even more lonely. Feeding a cycle of making yourself miserable because you knew before reaching out to that person couldn't reassure you in the way that you needed, because no one can reassure you in the way that you need, because what you need reassurance about is not something that anyone can help you with, and you're wise enough to know that, and yet the sadness prevails. Mercury with Mars has not helped. Good Lord. Six of Cups came out in the Leo reading too. Justice, the Libra card. Good. I'm glad to see it. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. All right, let's keep going. So far, Queen of Wands is the bottom of the deck. Six of Cups. I know that there is a situation that is just like, you have to look at it with logic. You have to be rational about the situation, but like asking a Cancer to be rational about their emotions, I don't even know what I'm asking. I don't know how to ask it of you. Page of Cups and the Six of Swords. So far, the bottom of the deck, the Ten of Cups. So coming up is the Page of Cups. Right, I get it. Just not feeling very much power. Okay. And then the Six of Swords, hearkening back to the Six of Cups that I was just talking about. There is a situation that we need to be super honest about, and I think that the retrograde and then Mercury going direct, Mercury being retrograde, but also being retrograde right where Mars was, which is like a push and pull energy then all of a sudden that you have going on. I think that really messed with our emotions. I think it made the ocean go like up and down, open, you know, like I think it made the waves much higher than they needed to be. Let's put it that way. And like paying the price for that is just that constant feeling of like unease and not understanding, like, why do I feel this way? What is going to happen? Like, is, you know, by the time you get to the Page of Cups energy, it's like, does anyone love me at all? What's going on? Like, and so you have this Libra energy. If we look here, you have this Libra energy sitting with your Six of Cups here. And then you coming up in a pretty, like, you know, humbled state here with the Six of Swords. Whatever it is something that you have got to look at impartially. And I think the retrograde tried to make you look at it, but you're not hearing it. You don't want to hear it. You want to stick to your fantasy of what you have about the Six of Cups. You want to stick to whatever you made up your water sign mind was going on there. And when that rationality kicks in and shows you you know, and I'm reading from, you know, I'm not reading from the beginning of September, obviously. I'm reading from now until, you know, mid-October, even though I'll get into the October readings early. But this is for now. This is the energy where this Libra energy is coming in now, like today, and being like, excuse me, you can't keep thinking this way about this connection. This connection is not what you think it is. And like, yeah, you put a lot of work into it, and I get it. But like, look at what's happening to you. You've got to like leave this situation behind. And what are you leaving it behind for? I mean, a shot at something real, a shot at something better. Now, let's look past that pretty like cursory explanation and go through the cards one by one. Six of Cups, that connection. It was the first card out in the Leo reading, and I took a break between readings and did another reading and came back, and it's the first card out again. So the Six of Cups energy is running strong. It's running strong in me. It's running strong in you guys. It's running strong just, you know, it's that kind of day. We've got that kind of energy where this is what's on our mind. We are wondering about our connections. We're wondering about the validity and the legitimacy of our connections. We're wondering if we're wasting our time because we're starting to get this sinking gut feeling that feels horrendous, that perhaps the person that we have envisioned in this Six of Cups scenario is not wanting to be there. You know, I just read a meme that said, leave him alone. That's what he wants. If he's not with you, leave him alone. That's what he wants. And it stung me. And I was like, oops, that's my Cancer. You know, another card that came out in the Leo reading. And it came up in the same position. Crazy. No, it really is about reinforcing where the power should lie. Cancer, this is quite a leap, okay? Losing your power because you gave it away, understanding with clear and rational thought coming in that you can't keep holding on to this. Even though, yes, you have put a lot of work into it, but look what it has taken from you. Finally, being able to move past that. Finally being able to move past that to something real. To something real, perhaps with somebody real. Or becoming real yourself instead of this, you know, shell of yourself. What an expression, huh? How apt for a Cancer. He was a shell of his former self. Isn't that something that you could say about a lot of Cancers from time to time when you guys go into your sad place? Don't you become shells of your former self? Don't you become empty shells when you're unhappy? When you're in a situation that's supposed to feel like this, but all you want to do is do this, don't you become just a shell? I know exactly when it happens with my Cancerian friends. I know when I'm looking at a shell, and I know when I'm looking at like the soft, gooey center of someone. And I know when I'm looking at a balance. It's in no one's best interest to be the soft, gooey center all the time. You get nothing done. And it's in no one's best interest to just be a shell. Right? Just someone who toils at life. Because the thing that gave them substance, the thing that was their soft center, was somehow taken from them. That dream was taken from them. And you're saying, but now you're trying to take it. Now you're telling me, listen, it's not me. It's this energy that's coming in. Let's get the obvious stuff out of the way. If there's a Libra that's in your life that you feel like you've been working really hard towards something with, and that person is just not being receptive to you, you know, there comes a point where you gotta like understand this energy. And you gotta understand that you shouldn't have to pull anyone into this life with you. This is something that someone should want to approach with you. Yeah? This is something that someone should want to have with you. So, more cards that came up. It's so crazy. What's going on? All right. I think you guys should watch the Leo reading. That's all I can say. It's never like this. That's so many of the same cards would come. I think you should watch the Leo reading. I think it would apply to you guys as well. Maybe because the energies are so mingled. Maybe because it's September 11th, so I'm like really, really, really keyed in. I don't know what it is because it's a very emotional day for me. Manhattan is my hometown. I grew up in Manhattan. New York City is my home. So like, you know, it's a big deal for me. It's a very, very emotional day. I'm very heightened in my sensitivities today. I'm very open to the energies. So I think this means that you guys should also watch the Leo reading because the similarities of which cards came up is what gives me pause because they all have to do with your power and how do we get you back into your power. The Hierophant, bottom of the deck, a card of power, right? Whatever this thing is, however long ago this was, because depending on Mercury retrograde, this could be something that was from years ago. It could be something from a couple of months ago, but whatever it was that Mercury retrograde, whatever connection that it pulled out of you, sorry about that, that was someone at the door. Whatever connection it pulled out of you is something that's needing to be re-examined. And you know what? I'm glad somebody came to the door because it gave me a chance to think. Leos are feeling the same way. I think that's why you have similar cards. Gemini are feeling like this to a large extent. And we're all in the same part, right? We're all along the same curve there. So I think it is valid to say that if anyone is being hit with this energy the most, and what is this? Cancer, you know what this is. This is a nostalgic kind of connection. This is the type of connection that really puts a Cancer's claws in cement. Not to mix too many metaphors here, but this is the kind of thing that really bogs you guys down. This is when you believe that something is fated. It's when you believe that something is meant to be, and whenever you're around this person, you can't help but feel like they're yours. They belong to you. And then you have this really super, super rational energy come in that makes you look at that connection again. And depending on how much of what I just described is true, you know, the Libra is a cardinal energy, right? Libra energy is cardinal energy. We're coming up in a time that's very mutable, and you are cardinal, and Libra is very cardinal. And I feel like cardinal energy is trying to get the last of this stuff swept and out of the way before the mutables come in and start a party again and make a mess again. And I think Libra's imposing its will on you a little bit like it did on Gemini last month, where last month it really did make us look at our connections and say, you know, really? Is this thing that you're hanging on to, is it as legitimate as you're making it? Is there a sense of reciprocity here? Does this other person also feel like this? We went through this last month, and I feel like now you guys are going through it, but you guys handle it very differently. You know, Gemini being an air sign, when we're confronted with this kind of rational energy, sure, it's not our favorite, but we are very good at mixing with it. We're very good at understanding when someone with this energy speaks to us. It isn't always easy because it is not our nature to be this way, but it is akin to our nature. It is synergistic to our nature. Now, how does this energy fare with you guys? Very differently. Obviously, a completely different element to begin with, but then on top of that, Libra energy is just removed. You know, this person has to be removed, or else they will not be able to weigh things fairly, and they will not be able to pass judgment fairly. But when this but see, Cancers aren't about that. Cancers aren't about being fair. not when it comes to their emotional connections. They don't care about this energy when it comes to the people they love. They don't care if it's right or wrong, or if it's just, or if it's karma, or whatever it is. They just want their connection. And you see, when you have what could be termed a pretty tenuous relationship with karma that way, or a very tenuous relationship with fate, if you will, because you have a larger idea of what that fate is. You have a broader perspective, and you're like, no, I know this energy can be very, very, very hard to deal with. Now, am I saying that these two cards then kind of sum up the past 10 days that we haven't spoken? Yeah, I am. Yeah, for sure. That's the 11th, right? Yeah. September 11th? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You have been wallowing here, Cancer, and I have too. And this energy, even though I am a Gemini, because of my Cancer rising, this energy was very, very, very hard for me. It actually manifested itself as a Libra. And it was very necessary. It was very, very, very necessary, and I'm very grateful that it happened. Now, what this leaves a vacuum for now, once you get this out of the way, don't wallow here, Cancer, please, because nothing can be done about this. This energy came in the way it did to show you something, and it has shown you something, and if you don't want to learn what it's shown you, you'll just get stuck here and nothing will change. If you choose to create a vacuum, then by letting that thing go, what you have in instead is good work and money coming in. What you have is you making proactive decisions to get things out of your life, and to also, this is not just a card of leaving, but moving towards something. What are we moving towards? Something better. This card came up in the Gemini reading. Something stable, moving towards something more stable. Gemini has already received it. You guys are up next. But you only get to receive it and move towards that something stable if you can first humble yourself. Cancer, let's talk about it. A lot of what makes it hard for you to swallow this cardinal energy is because you're also cardinal and you like to take over situations. Regardless of what's going on or where you are or where you're at or who's doing what, your energy has a tendency to take over. And you don't really mind if that means that it's your sadness that's contagious or your happiness that's contagious. You just spread your energy where you go. Now, that can be very difficult energy when it bumps heads with this Libra energy, which is also cardinal. But instead of just permeating the room with its feeling and kind of wanting to emotionally overpower people, what Libra does in its cardinal energy is it rationally overpowers people with its mind. Right? It mentally overpowers people. When that energy comes up against your ability to permeate your surroundings with your feelings and therefore be able to control and manipulate the situation, the Libra energy isn't fazed by it. The Libra energy is like, I don't care. I don't care about how you feel. I'm going to tell you how it is. I don't care if you feel like this was something really, really whatever you think it was. I'm telling you, it's not. And when Cancer comes across this sort of dialogue with this sort of energy, it is humbled. Either it is humbled or it gets stuck here. If you want to be stuck, like I said, that's totally your choice. If you humble yourself, the first thing you do is you'll remove yourself from situations that are toxic to you, that you know through this rational burst of, gift energy that you get, that you don't need in your life, and you row towards something better. In the I Ching, it says it helps to have a beautiful island to row towards. Now, next card, Four of Wands. Like I said, it came up in the Gemini reading too. Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's a card of togetherness. It's a card of stability. It's a card of manifestation. Fire energy. Good stuff. Why does it come up here like this? Because it's the card's way of saying it's not that bad. Things could very easily be very good. You're already in many ways working towards it, but you must humble yourself, especially when it comes to thinking that you know better. You know, I think the downfall of being a Cancer is because you feel that when you can feel everything, you feel that you know everything. And that's just not true. Right? I think the downfall of this energy is that it thinks it knows everything, but it can't feel anything. So everything, there are drawbacks everywhere. The point is, nobody knows everything. The point is, everybody needs to have this humbling moment so we can see where the light is shining through, so we can see the way out, so we can row towards a beautiful island. And then, well, the first thing that happens is that we're elevated. That's good. What a relief, since we have been feeling so, awful. Good. So to go from Page of Cups to Knight of Cups, and what does that say? After my whole big thing right now of humble yourself, yeah, that's the trick. The trick is you humble yourself to, learn the lessons that you must learn. And in the humbling, there is a promotion and there is an elevation of the self. Right? Now, these are the two outcome cards, and they really do clarify the Empress. So, elevation of self by leaving what you absolutely know for sure isn't working, even though you've put work into it. I get it, but come on. And then the Knight of Cups. So, you coming into a place where you really do feel like you could actually reach out and be a more confident version of yourself, but only after you've kind of left this thing behind that's making you feel really icky. And if not, and if you don't choose that road, okay? If you choose not to indulge this Libra energy, if you choose to ignore this and not create a vacuum in your life and keep the stasis, all right, and you keep working on it and through it, then there is still the humbling of self. There is still the moving away, but then in this case, the moving away doesn't happen from the other person. The moving away happens from self. To moving away from self. And as you move away from self, what do you find? I think, Cancer, that you still find happiness and you still find someone to be your partner. I think it's still here for you. I think the difference really is in excuse me, 1 second, I'm just going to drink some. I think the difference really is in when you get here and you have this person, you're with this person, whether it's this person or it's somebody new. I think what we have to focus on is the way you end up feeling, because obviously that's what means anything anyway. That's the only thing that means anything anyway. At the end of this, you either see the truth of what's going on and you end up a better person, or you stay in your cycle and in your regret and in your stubbornness, it must be said. Came up for Scorpio too. The water signs are being so stubborn right now. The fixed signs too. Oh, there's so much stubbornness. But the thing I want to point out to you, Cancer, about this card is that you sticking to this fantasy, do you see that you're ending up alone? This weird idea that you have of this person that you need to be with somehow. I don't know what it is. I don't know if this is a job you can't see past, if this is a partner, if this is an ex-partner, if this is someone that you're married to. I know for me in my own life, it was definitely someone that I felt that I had this kind of connection with, and up until just a few days ago, for some reason, I could not see past it whatsoever at all, and didn't see how I ever could. And then just like a rational kind of knife, of logic when it was presented to me with this sort of clarity, I just immediately kind of woke up from years of this, nonsensical Cancerian kind of hanging on to something based on some sort of chemical attachment, if you will. And I did truly, truly humble myself and completely leave the situation behind, which is why I'm kind of looking at this like flabbergasted, like I'm in awe. I'm like, oh my God, this just happened. And really did decide to row towards something better. And without even having, more of a stable anything than that in mind than just wanting this energy, really do feel this kind of power. But I also feel like whoever would come into my life right now because of what I'm doing would exude this kind of energy, which is just, majestic, kind of quiet, earthly, power. And someone that makes you want to, open up to them, makes you want to advance to them. And I can see very clearly also how if I hadn't, even though this was more painful than I can ever, really describe, I think, I think when a Cancerian starts thinking about how they should write about something or how they should make a play about something or write a song about something, it's because something has really, really, really gotten to them. And that's what happened. Maybe I'll do a ramblings about it. But I can see if I hadn't allowed this to happen and if I hadn't really allowed this energy to talk to me the way it needed to, and if I hadn't listened, instead of just like what I've been doing is just like holding my hands over my ears, if I hadn't really listened and allowed this process and thrown all this work away and not, done all this, I can totally see how I would get stuck here again and get back into this terrible cycle. So choose your own adventure time, kind of, because you have the ability now to create this vacuum, and Libra energy doesn't have to come in and be super harsh. You can just do it yourself. In your gut that whatever this is, even if you swear you can't let go of it, it's bad for you, or that thing isn't going to work the way you think, the way you keep trying to make it work. It just doesn't work, and it's not working, and you just, I don't know, out of, again, Cancerian stubbornness, you won't let it go. And Libra energy is like, no, forget it. Yeah, but what about all that? Yeah, it doesn't matter. Now, in terms of work, there is a lot of work to be done. There is a lot of money to be made. But again, you've got to be straight in your mind to be able to row towards that better thing. You can't be stuck here and emotionally and think that you can make money. You won't be able to. There are also chances of you making a lot of money. There are chances of you inheriting stuff. There are chances of you coming into much more money than you thought. There are chances of being elevated in status. All of that is possible. But again, your emotional well-being is the precursor to any of that material gain. Okay, we'll go more into it in the extended. I'm going to drink some hot tea. The extendeds will be up in a week. I love you guys so much. I'm so sorry the reading was so late, but I think you can tell now why. All right, I will see you in the extendeds. Gotta drink that tea. Bye, I love you.